Hey guys, Captain Smash here from Smash Strength Lab. Today we're talking about how long of rest period should you take in between sets. Now, ideally this is going to depend on what you're trying to do, your chosen goal. So if you're looking for mass and growth, you're generally looking between 30 to 60 seconds of ideal rest. I like to say at this point, try to take, wait until your breathing and heart rate calm down a little bit, but not fully recover. That way you can stimulate muscle growth through metabolic fatigue as well as the load and volume of your training. Plus you can superset with this and it actually enhances the muscle building effect. Now, if you're going for power and absolute strength, this is where you want to take a much longer rest break and wait until full recovery. Most Ollie lifters rest a full 4 to 5 minutes between sets, and power lifters as well. So like if your main goal is power or creating that absolute strength, like we're talking 1 to 2 rep maxes, then take an extra rest period and just relax in between the sets, maybe due to some dynamic stretching. But you want to take your time, that way you can reproduce a very solid physical effort. Now, sports performance is kind of specific to the sport. So like if you are training for like say football, like a football lineman, then training explosively for about 5 to 10 seconds is going to be advantageous. And you're going to have a little bit more carryover to your particular sport when you're doing that. Now for muscle endurance, like these are generally lighter sets, so you can lift lighter weights really, really fast without very much of a break. So you can continue on doing sets of 12 to 20 reps fairly easily as long as the load is light. And if you're just trying to stimulate that muscle endurance or get into a more aerobic type gig with weights, then you want as minimal rest period as possible. So the breakdown generally is between 30 to 60 seconds. Generally 3 to 5 minutes for power and absolute strength. Sports performance, it depends. So basically in that case, you want to take your sport, analyze it for what that person does, how long they're expending energy for, producing max levels of power, and then replicate it. So we use the example of a football lineman. We got about a 10-second split. Generally 10 seconds hard, try to double the amount of rest that you get. So, 10 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. That way you're getting the most out of that activity. And then muscular endurance, you're trying to go for more repetitions. So less than or equal to 30 seconds of rest in between there. Now the other thing that can depend on how long of rest periods you take is also your training age. Like if you're a brand new beginner, you're gonna need to take a lot longer rest periods, and generally, just rest until you feel like you're recovered almost fully. So you can have a little bit of elevated heart rate and your breathing will be increased, but then try to go again into another set. Now, if you're an advanced trainee, you probably recover really fast. Just remember that these principles over here still apply. So if you're going for power and absolute strength and you're trying to rush through that, you're diminishing your returns by not taking a full break. Sometimes when Kenny and I were heavy into powerlifting, we would take almost a good 30 minutes just working on our max effort exercises like squats and deadlifts, and then proceed into the rest of our workout. Now that doesn't mean that you can't mix and match some of these. Like say you're working power or absolute strength at the start, go slow for those periods. And then when you're down to your smaller sets where you're doing more hypertrophy sets, then you decrease the rest period to something like this. So hopefully that answers some of your questions, and I'll see you next time.